Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the after show for issue 22 of The Powers That Be. Again, this one was called Afterglow. It's a lovely, lovely lore dump. Crash is probably not going to sleep any better than I will tonight. So thank you for that, Patrick. Um, we're going to start as we always do with our stars and wishes. And tonight we will start with Matt. What have you got?
Okay, well, um, definitely stars to Patrick and Julie for, you know, just showing up because I know you all weren't feeling well. Um, and doubly so for Patrick for doing a lot of lore heavy lifting and talking. Um, stars to Ray for, being a good sport about, continued ribbing for his extracurricular activities. And, stars to Trevor and ECAT for some theory crafting. So stars are all around. Um, wishes, there's a lot of stuff to digest tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see where things are going and what the overarching plan is, or at least what
This portion
I,
of it is. Yeah.
or at least what Jack thinks is going on is actually the thing that's going on. Or, if Patrick is behind the scenes going, yeah, that's a good idea. Or, because that's a trick I've pulled as a GM too.
Sure.
So,
Hey, I mean, it's collaborative storytelling, and that's
yep,
collaborative storytelling at its best. So.
yep.
All
So,
right. Let's hit up Ray next.
All right. Um, so get stars to uh Patrick, dear God, the lore. Wow. There's lore on the floor, and there's lore some more,
and
and
the
I can't
ceiling,
underscore the imploring for more lore.
At your core.
Uh yes.
There's the door.
That
okay, Lorax, let's no.
um I give star to uh Julie for her role in bringing back Mr. Lorax to the digs, and big stars for um, Trevor and Matt for um, like just how active y'all were in the digging. Like you excavated very, very well. Um, and so that kind of leads into wishes. So this very much turned into the Crash and Jackdaw interrogation half show. That is what it is. And I think that we haven't had like I'm sure Patrick, not having done this, but it's like at some point in time, you got to open the door and it's like, hey, look at all of this stuff. Like this, we've got to get this in, and you can't craft everything just so delicately and perfect. It's like, got to get it out there. And this is how we got it out there. It wound up being more of a back seat for the other three of us for a large chunk of that section. So it's like, I might be hyper focusing by saying that, but as a still a relatively new gamer, like that was new to me, and it harkened back to like our first 5 or 6 episodes when we were feeling stuff around and trying to get the levels and but like it's been said before, some of them are going to be, we want to focus on this person for this episode, or these dynamics that's going to involve some people more than others. So I just at least wanted to bleh, barf that out there and put that out. It's still like, wow, impressive. Um do, 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 do. And I guess wish. So sometimes it's like, ooh, I kind of have an idea for what Eddie's going to do, or I have an idea about this, but you're the Patrick is the true lore master, and I wish I knew how to play with that edge of what I want my character and it's my character's internal knowledge to know and run with just a little thing like the, what was like how much agency can my character have for setting this up so long as it doesn't cut off an avenue for Patrick as the GM for moving story along and setting up what the relationships have to be. So that's kind of more of a meta wish. And again, more experience, more playing around. So I think if there's Patrick, if there's any way that you could um you could maybe like have some like kind of down here, not level 1, level 2, but like level 4, you just sort of back here, they'll choose your own adventure. It's like, okay, this much, this little chunk, I'm gonna throw it all. It's like, you're gonna do it. Okay, this is what you have chosen. Great. And then after that has been wrapped up for that episode, you move that forward again towards the same overarching, character
Yeah.
arcs and stuff.
So with a lot of the behavior of Eddie as a character or as a sub character, I largely have been going with like anything you say goes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you dictate Eddie's behavior, that's Eddie. So I'm just kind of feeding in some background into that. Like Eddie has been on Earth for a very long time, but wasn't originally from Earth. And so hopefully that gives you some extra like, well, so what sort of things does Eddie know because of that versus things that Eddie wouldn't know because of that?
Okay.
So, I definitely want to still maintain you all are also in control of the story and not just with your own particular characters. You can dictate other things going on around. I can adjust within a lot of stuff because there's a lot of like the really big things going on in the background of the things I'm in control of, which you're getting hints of here and there, but how those things manifest more locally around you, sends ripples back upward, which I can work with very easily. That's not a problem at all.
And
Okay.
just to interject, sorry, I know I've taken up a lot of tonight. I apologize.
No.
Is, it's not 1986 in somebody's basement anymore. We don't have to physically pass notes. We have technology where you and Patrick can be communicating about like, you can message Patrick and say, "Hey, I'd like to try this," and he can give you the
Oh.
thumbs up or thumbs down.
I've already sent Patrick 2 messages. I mean, I've been
Okay,
using that.
Yes.
so keep it up. I mean, it's basically
I
a
am.
dialogue.
Yeah.
He's
No, I get that. And but some of it's like it's the in game at the time. I mean, it's just like and I don't know if any of you have actually put on armor, but like you get in the zone and all of a sudden you forget because you're trying to focus on either character stuff or this and what am I going to do, and you forget about some of your options because it's in-game awareness.
Yeah.
And that comes with experience.
right. Well, this is melee. This is melee as opposed to one-on-one fight.
Exactly. No,
So
I totally get that. Yeah.
I used to
Cool.
fight, so I know what
Cool.
you're talking about.
Yeah, excellent,
Um,
excellent.
So
But yes, it was a different episode, and I think that overall that's a good thing because wow, the implications of all of this lore, like we just ratcheted up the intensity.
Yep.
Not quite to 11, but damn it, we're getting close.
well, the stakes have been raised.
Man, they just need to be braised.
All right, let's go to ECAT next.
Well, massive stars to Patrick, like we're all saying, because this was really him giving us so much info to process. And even when he throws out those what seem to be little offhanded things that make like Crash Jack and Ice go, excuse me? What?
Hold up. Back up there.
Um,
Get
So-
off the counter! Sorry.
Stars to the cats who have like perfect timing. But and also to Trevor and Matt for just running with the interrogation.
Yeah.
I apologize. I was like totally brain dead today, so that's why she just kind of curled up on a fell into her textbooks. I don't really have any wishes at the moment other than, wow, we got to figure out where the hell we're going with all this info.
Yep.
So that's where I am.
Okay. Julie.
Okay. To quote one of my favorite movies that I actually really have not watched in way too long. This is directed at our GM. You shot me in my brain pan. Just between the player being just narfy enough to be having a really hard time following everything, and character who's just like, nope, way too thinky. So like literally once things really got going, once Bill was there, and so she literally was like sitting in a chair with the, like curled up, just working on her coffee, just continuing to munch on, on breakfast, part 2 and 3, just trying to, take it all in. But yeah, everybody, even like, so like geek out the, how you reacted, to that, you are kind of brain fried. So you just kind of just really just dove into the character of, this is what Neva is dealing with, and so even though there wasn't action, everybody's character came out and really kind of said, guided things, and yeah. So yeah, said stars all around for that, because and my eternal wish is more is more things to beat up on. I mean, that's really what it boils down to.
Yep. All right, for me, star to Matt for the back and forth between Jackdaw and Crash. That was fun, and that's usually me and Ray, so it was fun to bounce that conversation off someone else. Obviously, to everyone for the lore. Honestly, if this hadn't dovetailed so nicely into investigating STEM, Crash would not have been nearly as involved. But that's what he's after right now. Is he wants to know what's behind STEM. So that's why he and Jack ended up kind of driving the interrogation, investigation, whatever you want to call it. The wish is I have 2 wishes. One, I hope that I have enough time over the next 2 weeks to go back and watch the recording and actually take notes, because I'm going to have to actually take notes for this one. And my second one is that when I'm done with that, I don't look like the Pepe Sylvia Charlie Day meme. Oh, yeah. Because there's going to be red string on the board. That's all I know. Yeah, this was a lot to process, and that's kind of why why I left it with that little epilogue of of Crash just kind of sitting in the conference room, just kind of bouncing the ball and thinking. Which, for those of you who watched The West Wing, is a direct reference to Toby Ziegler, and to those of you who didn't watch The West Wing, what are you waiting for?
Can we get through Leverage, please?
Okay, that's fine. That's fair.
We're on season 5. By the way, we need to borrow the discs because
Already
one
gave,
episode.
I dropped
let's
him
do it.
off. I dropped him off today.
Awesome, thank you.
But
Right.
I'm already rewatching The West Wing. I'm halfway through season 1 again.
Love it. All right, and with that, we will go over to Patrick.
All right. So this was one of those things where I had not a huge amount of plan, just figuring that things will work themselves out. And indeed they did, as they usually do, because, yeah, y'all aren't going to just like sit around and have a snooze or whatnot, or just work in your record store or anything like that for your characters. So for stars, I would like to give one to Ray, for being a good sport, because this is not the full extent of all the punishment he's going to receive for things, because, well, this is part of his storyline, strangely enough. So it's very good to be working on that. Actually, thinking about that, since you actually did last week in this work on your storyline, take an extra experience point for that.
Oh, thanks.
Forgot about that part. And stars to Matt and Trevor for grilling a person when they had an opportunity to get information. Of course, you could have let him go at any point.
He could have left at any point. We weren't keeping him hostage or anything. We just
An interesting thing. I will since you don't have enough to think about, I have one more thing to punish you with.
Go for it.
Oh, no. Dear God. What?
What's Bill's agenda?
Yeah. Oh,
So
I had considered that.
Yeah, same.
why is he telling you this, and the things specifically he's telling you?
Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
isn't he telling you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's always a fun thing.
Of course.
So for wishes, my big thing is that I've been sick for a couple of weeks with COVID, and it hasn't been bad or anything like that. I can still breathe and all. I check my oxygen every day, which is important.
Oh, this is what happens when you're fully vaccinated, folks, is it really does help.
It does. So only had so much brain going. So just so you know that this is not Patrick firing on all cylinders tonight. But that's
which is terrifying in and of itself.
So that said, I kind of wish that I had a bit more time to put together more action going on, but I think things have worked out pretty well for that. Also, we have been discussing kind of doing a sideline thing, which I want us to work on at some point soon, wherein we're kind of a game within a game, because I just love that concept so much, because I'm a big Gene Wolfe fan. So, that's the sort of stuff we run into. And with that, I'm trying to figure out who exactly I would bring to the table for that one. I have a couple ideas, but I really have to see what Trevor comes up with for the actual game for that, so I can put something together. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I'm really liking. So for our viewers, I recently picked up the Pathfinder 2nd Edition remastered core books, which so far look very good. And I've got this idea for like an oops all goblins kind of thing, which I think would be hilarious. So that may be coming on the table, because I think that actually might be the kind of twisted sense of humor that Crash would have. All right, I have to digest before I can do any more theory crafting, because there's just so much. Though I will say, actually, Patrick, to your point, I think that actually a lore dump like this was probably a good thing, for the fact that you admittedly weren't firing on all cylinders, because this is all stuff, presumably this is all, or at least mostly, stuff that you've already worked out. So you're basically, you're reading us your notes and putting it in, in a character's voice. If this had been a high combat episode like our last one was, I think you would probably have burned out a lot faster, because there's more stuff that you would have had to keep track of in your brain. So I think this was actually a perfect time, perfect excuse for a lore dump episode.
Or even if we were doing an annual, just switching from character to character and juggling.
That was my other thought for tonight. And I was looking at my notes for that. I'm like, oh, that's 5 storylines to keep track of right now.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, we like your brain not leaking out your ears. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah, because then I'd have to clean it up, and
Right?
just
get the cats to help with that. Just
like they.
All right. Well, with that, anyone else have anything more they want to add?
Nope.
All right, then we're going to get out of here. Once again, thank you for watching. Let us know what you want to see in the comments. Let us know your theories if you have any, and who knows, maybe Patrick will end up adding them to the world. But in the meantime, for Patrick, ECAT, Matt, Julian, Ray, I am Trevor, the Vitruvian Meeple. Good night, everybody.